Hey everyone! Title cards, am I right?
The title card, or title sequence, is an absolute staple of the Ultra franchise. The title card typically showcases the title of the series. Every single show, including the spin-offs, have these. They've been here since the very beginning. If an Ultra show doesn't have a title card in one form or another, I will lose it. That's not to say the Ultra series is the only franchise with this, far from it. Nearly every other TV show, or movie, or video game have these title cards. They serve an important purpose, to tell the viewer what they're getting themselves into, to signify the start of an experience. More often than not, with the style and feel of the media. You know, just in case you don't know what you're watching. The Ultra series also did not invent the title card. These have been around way back before Ultra Q even came into being. Though, because of how long this franchise has stood the test of time, I think it's really interesting to see the franchise still retain this tradition up until today. And even cooler, how these title cards have changed throughout the years. We'll only be talking about the title sequences which unveil the series logo, not the full opening song sequence. To begin with, we have to go all the way back to 1966's Ultra Q. Ultra Q is the first entry in the Ultra series and Tsuburaya Productions' first foray into television after helping out in the special effects for Toho's films. Ultra Q does not feature any Ultra hero, but focuses on mysteries and odd occurrences, yet hosts the most iconic title sequence ever in probably all of Ultra media. This freaked me out so much as a kid. This perfectly captures its mood, with the eerie sounds in the background and the swirl into the title, which I imagine would have been super cool to see back in 1966. Its peers which were airing or had aired before it also utilized title cards, like Ambassador Magma, or even Godzilla back in 1954. The special illusion-like title card here may not have been the most high-end special effect, but it's a really clever one. You see, how it works is basically they create a background pattern, probably on oil paints, write out the Ultra Q logo on it, then they swirl it out, and then in the editing room, reverse the footage. I think this highlights Tsuburaya's ingenuity in his craft by utilizing a simple camera trick, but still manages to add so much identity and atmosphere to his title card. Nowadays, this sequence can be created using modern software, but back in the day, this is still super impressive. On that topic, in the Showa era, the title cards reflected the special effects of the time, sort of like a teaser of the effects we'll see later on in the episode. During this time, a lot of the other shows on TV in Japan made their title sequences in the way of text on live action footage, like we see in Samurai, Giant Robo, and later Kamen Rider. As far as I found, the Ultra series title cards were different in this respect, aside from maybe Godzilla and his sequels. The next installment is another mega iconic one, Ultraman's. Ultraman starts out as Ultra Qs, but explodes into red paint. This bold splash of red, coupled with the honking sound effect, immediately communicates the change in tone from the mysterious eerie Ultra Q to the upbeat hopeful Ultraman. And it doesn't stop there, it signified the leap into color. Ultra Q was an entirely black and white show, while Ultraman was full color. This intro sequence perfectly communicates to the viewer, this is the show that will change your life. Yes, the Ultra Q sequence is in color in this one, but they're creepy colors, and it does say Ultra Q after all. The red burst truly makes it feel like it just bursts onto your TV screen. It's cool to note as well that the use of red makes this connected to Ultraman's rise sequence, and it could possibly reference the hero's prototype name, Redman. Over the years, Ultraman and Ultra Q's title cards have been referenced or recreated. Some examples include in the Mebius and Ultra Brothers movie, Ultraman Gaia's title sequence, and even in New Generation Chronicle recently. And is even used as part of Ultraman's aesthetic in fusion transformations like Orb Specium Zeppelion or Z Beta Smash. For the rest of the Showa era, the title cards were still pretty great. They were mostly these flashy showcases of special effects. The series is a special effects show after all. Ultra 7 had two variants, both were made using reverse footage like Ultra Q did. Return of Ultraman had these backgrounds that looked like a kaleidoscope. To me, the most impressive among the Showa era is Ultraman Taros. It does not look like something from 1973 in my opinion. The 3D lettering looks so smooth and stylish it holds up really well. Although Ace's title card was 3D before Taro's, but Taro's just looks better. These title sequences were accompanied by musical cues which were also used for the hero's transformation in the series, starting from Return of Ultraman. Shortened versions of these sequences were also used for the episode's intermissions. Moving on to the Heisei era, the title cards have become still are flashy showcases of special effects. Although in this era, they're more so focused on being computer generated rather than practical effects, like we last saw with 80s in the last years of the Showa era. A major change though is that now these sequences have become much shorter. Compare Ultraman Tiga's 6 seconds to Ultraman Leo's 15 seconds. Not saying the Showa eras are bad, but this is how it has changed. They still directly lead into the opening song just like the Showa title cards did. Later entries after Cosmos no longer did this. In Nexus, the episodes usually begin with an opening scene, then the title card kicks in along with the intro. In Max and Mebius, the title card still always opened the episode, but the opening song would usually kick in after a scene or two from the episode. However, Cosmos, Nexus, Max and Mebius' title cards are all accompanied by musical cues for transformations, similar to the stuff from the Showa era. In terms of homages, well, Tiga, Dyna and Gaia's title card aesthetics got incorporated into Ultraman Z Gamma Future's Rise sequence. I thought that was a pretty neat decision, instead of just using the components' Rise sequences. With the movies on the other hand, the title cards always show up several minutes in, so if you still weren't sure what you were watching, just keep holding on to your breath. These are more cinematic, as the beginning scene of a movie usually serves as a prologue and the title kicking in starts the movie proper. You see this in many other non-Ultra films as well. The New Generation series still have their title cards. However, this time they've departed from the usual formula a bit. This time, the title sequences are a part of the opening song and not a separate sequence that leads into the opening song. It feels modern. Now they are more akin to openings of anime shows, like this one from Digimon Adventure or even SSS's Greatmans. However, this is not to say they're the first to do this. The Ultraman did this first back in 1979, although that was an actual anime. In terms of live action shows that did this, Ultraman the Ultimate Hero or Ultraman Powered beat them to it. Speaking of integrating title cards into the opening, let's talk a bit about Ultraman Taros. Its musical cue includes the first part of the actual opening song, and then it repeats this part right after, when the actual opening song starts. I always found this weird. Since they never separated these two things, why not just integrate them together and let the title card transition smoothly into the opening credits? Well, what do I know? I don't music for a living. Anyway, the New Generation series title cards are... still flashy showcases for special effects. Ultraman Gengas, in my opinion, is super neat. Previously on this time slot, Ultraman Retsuden aired. It was a clip show of older Ultra series in order to keep Ultra series back in the audience's minds. So when Tsuburaya Productions churned out Ginga on that time slot, it is reflected in this title sequence which bursts out from the new Ultraman Retsuden's logo. You can even say that this is the New Generation's equivalent to the Ultraman logo change from Ultra Q, which I think is pretty cool. A lot of the stylistic change of this generation's title cards can be reflected back to the logo designs themselves, with a lot of them adopting the chrome outline style, and the generally higher hypeness the New Generation series usually tries to bring to the table. Throughout the years, the Ultra series has obviously evolved a lot, but why do people still enjoy it? Most likely because it manages to keep its heart and soul intact while adjusting to suit different times. This can even be seen in the title sequences we've seen throughout the years, an unchanging tradition that still finds a way to make itself work while still serving a faithful purpose to the originals. Seeing Ultraman Z's title sequences being pretty darn cool with what the red and blue glitch effects makes me excited to see upcoming title sequences for future installments.
Now that we've got that out of the way, I just remembered there's one series that I haven't watched yet. Well, it's not a series, it's a movie, Ultraman the Next. I can't wait to see what its title card looks like. This show does not have a title card. That's it, we riot. Oh, it's 10 minutes in, we're good.